Have you ever wondered how a minor German princess ascended to become the longest ruling female sovereign of Russia? The story begins with a young, ambitious woman named Sophia Augusta, born into a minor German noble family. Her life took a dramatic turn when she was chosen to wed the future Peter III, the heir to the Russian throne. Sophia, who would later embrace the name Catherine, was no ordinary bride. Her intellect and charm quickly won over the Russian court. However, it was her resilience and cunning that truly set her apart. When she realized her husband Peter was a weak, ineffectual ruler, she saw an opportunity. In a daring coup, Catherine overthrew Peter, seizing the throne for herself. With the support of the military and the church, she was crowned Catherine II, Empress of all Russia. So Catherine the Great became the reigning Empress of Russia. But how did she manage to hold on to power for so long? With her ascension to the throne, Catherine faced immense challenges. How did she navigate these rocky waters? Catherine's early reign was fraught with political turmoil as she grappled with the task of solidifying her authority. The Russian Empire was a vast and diverse territory, teeming with powerful nobles who were not always willing to bend to the will of a female sovereign. Catherine, however, was not one to be easily deterred. She embarked on a campaign to consolidate power, using a mixture of strategy, diplomacy, and force. She did not shy away from using intimidation to suppress opposition, but she also knew the value of winning allies. She sought to strengthen her ties with the nobility, granting them more rights and privileges. This move not only secured their loyalty, but also placed them in her debt, further consolidating her power. But Catherine's consolidation of power was not just about force or intimidation. She was also a visionary reformer. Recognizing the need for modernization, she convened a legislative commission in 1767, tasked with the monumental job of revising Russia's outdated laws. This was no small feat. The commission brought together representatives from all social classes, a groundbreaking move in an era when the nobility and clergy often held a monopoly on political power. Despite initial resistance, Catherine's reforms gradually took hold. She reorganized the administration, reshaped the judiciary, and revised the education system. Her efforts laid the groundwork for a more efficient and centralized state, providing a stable foundation for her enduring rule. Catherine's early reign exemplified her tenacity and strategic acumen. She successfully navigated the complexities of the Russian political landscape, consolidating her power and setting the stage for the transformative changes she would introduce. Having consolidated her power, Catherine was ready to make her mark on Russia and the world. Now in control of the Russian Empire, Catherine embarked on a journey of expansion and enlightenment. But what did this entail? Catherine's reign was characterized by a remarkable expansion of the Russian Empire. She engaged in numerous wars against the Ottoman Empire, showcasing her strategic acumen and military prowess. These wars were not merely about territorial gains. They were a part of her grand plan to strengthen Russia's position on the global stage. One of the defining moments of her rule was the annexation of Crimea in the year 1783. This significant acquisition not only extended the boundaries of the Russian Empire, but also granted Russia control over the strategically vital Black Sea, opening up new avenues for trade and diplomacy. However, Catherine's reign was not solely about territorial expansion. She was a woman of the Enlightenment, an ardent patron of the arts, and a champion of education. She corresponded with many of the greatest minds of her time, including the French philosopher Voltaire. Their intellectual exchanges greatly influenced her policies and helped shape her vision for Russia. Catherine believed in the power of knowledge and viewed education as a vital tool for progress. She established the Smolny Institute, the first state-financed higher education institution for women in Europe, and fostered a culture of learning and intellectual curiosity throughout her court. She also undertook several initiatives to modernize Russia and align it with Western Enlightenment ideals. She codified laws, streamlined the administration, and promoted development in science and the arts. Her reign saw a remarkable flourish in Russian culture, giving birth to what is often referred to as the Golden Age of Russian literature and arts. This period witnessed the emergence of literary giants like Pushkin and Gogol, and the development of distinctive Russian styles in art and architecture. Catherine's reign was marked by territorial expansion and a golden age of culture, but it was not without its controversies. Despite her achievements, Catherine's reign was not without its dark side. What were these controversies and criticisms? Catherine's rule was marked by several significant controversies, one of the most notable being Pugachev's rebellion. This was a massive peasant revolt that erupted in 1773, led by the Cossack Yemelyan Pugachev, who claimed to be Catherine's late husband, Peter III. The rebellion was a violent reaction to the oppressive serfdom system, and it resulted in the loss of thousands of lives before it was ultimately quashed. This rebellion underscored the deep-seated social unrest that existed during Catherine's reign, and many historians argue that she missed an opportunity to address the issue of serfdom. Speaking of serfdom, it remains another controversial aspect of Catherine's reign. Although she initially showed some interest in reforming the serfdom system, she eventually strengthened it, largely as a response to Pugachev's rebellion. The serfs were tied even more directly to their owners and their land, resulting in an increase in the serf population. Critics argue that this move was a significant step backward for Russia, solidifying a system of servitude that would last until the mid-19th century. Lastly, there were the rumors and innuendos about Catherine's private life. Her numerous lovers and the circumstances surrounding her rise to power fueled rumors that painted her in a scandalous light. These rumors, often perpetuated by foreign diplomats and court gossips, have persisted throughout history, overshadowing her many achievements. However, it's important to remember that Catherine was a woman in a predominantly male arena. She was constantly under scrutiny, and her personal life was often used against her. While these rumors are part of her legacy, they should not detract from her accomplishments as a ruler. Catherine's reign was a complex mix of progress and controversy, a reflection of the woman herself. Catherine's reign ended with her death in 1796, but her legacy has endured. What is the impact of her reign? Few monarchs in history have left as indelible an imprint as Catherine the Great. Her reign, spanning more than 3 decades, transformed Russia from a relatively isolated kingdom into a major European power. One of the key aspects of Catherine's legacy is the territorial expansion of Russia. She annexed Crimea, conquered parts of Poland, and expanded the empire's borders into Central Asia. This not only established Russia as a dominant force, but also set the stage for the country's future geopolitical influence. The influence of the Enlightenment on Catherine's reign was profound. She corresponded with the greatest minds of the era, including Voltaire and Diderot, and brought their ideas to her court. She initiated reforms that sought to modernize Russia, from establishing new towns and schools to promoting science and the arts. While not all of her Enlightenment-inspired reforms were fully realized, they unquestionably signaled a shift towards a more progressive society. Catherine's reign also saw the modernization of Russia on various fronts. She overhauled the administration, codified laws, and improved the infrastructure. She also promoted trade and industry, helping to lay the groundwork for Russia's industrial revolution in the 19th century. But perhaps her most enduring legacy is the sense of stability she brought to the throne. Her reign marked a period of relative peace and prosperity, a stark contrast to the tumultuous reigns that preceded and followed her. Catherine's legacy is not without its controversies. Her policies often favored the nobility at the expense of the serfs, and her personal life was the subject of much gossip and speculation. Yet it's undeniable that her reign was a turning point for Russia, and her influence can still be felt today. Catherine the Great, a woman of paradoxes, left an indelible mark on Russian history. Her reign symbolizing an era of stability, progress, and innovation. Catherine's reign of 34 years solidified her place in history as the longest ruling female sovereign of Russia. Rising to the throne through a whirlwind of political machinations, she deftly consolidated her power, ensuring her unassailable position at the helm of the Russian Empire. Her reign was marked by territorial expansion, as she brought vast new territories under Russian control, extending the empire's reach and influence. A patron of the arts and a champion of the Enlightenment, Catherine fostered a period of cultural and intellectual growth that would come to define her era. Yet her rule was not without controversy, from her ruthless suppression of dissent to her personal scandals. Despite these criticisms, Catherine's enduring legacy is indisputable. She transformed Russia, ushering in an era of stability, progress, and innovation that would leave a lasting imprint on the country's history. Catherine the Great, an enigmatic figure whose reign transformed Russia and left an enduring legacy that continues to shape the country's history.